Hi everyone, it's Valor from Online Combat Battalion with another video tutorial for you in the Arma 3 Eden editor. This one's in response to a question from Snepi, who wants to know how to end a mission when a group of vehicles has been destroyed. Similar things have been covered in other videos, but this is just a quick one to help him out. So let's get into it. So to complete a mission when a group of vehicles is destroyed, I've placed everything I need already. What I've done is place a playable unit. You can use whatever you wish. Some launchers, obviously, if we're going to destroy vehicles, but you can use explosives, airstrikes, whatever you like. So the first thing I've done is place a create task, which is, you can get the create task from systems, Intel, and create task. And inside the task, if you open it, I've set the owner to all playable units, ID task 1, title destroy the vehicles, description take out the enemy supply vehicles. And I've set the state to assigned. I've also placed down a set task state, which is set to state succeeded. I've synced those two, the create task and the set task state, together, and I've placed down a trigger up here, which I have synced to the create task module. Inside this trigger, I've made the activation type any player present. So when any player enters this trigger, it will activate that task. Now I've placed 3 vehicles. These don't have crews in them. Obviously, if you wish, you could have crews in them. You could have the vehicles moving along a road or through a field or any other place. You could actually have all 3 in completely different areas on the map. It's completely up to you, because the location, the actual specific location of these vehicles for this task doesn't matter. Now what I've done, and what you need to do, is to give each of these vehicles a variable name, which I've covered in other videos that's similar to this. So the variable name for this one I've just put as T for Tango 1, so T1. This one is T2, and this one is T3. Now the trigger that I've placed here, that is synced to the set task state, has within the activation, or correction, the condition, exclamation mark alive T1, the AND symbol twice, alive T2, AND symbol twice, alive T3, and semicolon. What that is telling the game to do is that once the 3 vehicles, T1, T2, and T3, are no longer alive, the task will then complete. And I'll show you how that works. Okay, so I'm in the mission, and I've got a launcher box there from which I've already taken a Morse launcher, and I've got the vehicles off there to my front. I'm going to walk forward, which will activate the task, because any player in that trigger who is present will activate the task. And there, the task is activated. If you want to see the detail on the task, you press J for Juliet on the keyboard, which will give you more detail on the task. So destroy the vehicles, take out the enemy supply vehicles. So getting the right equipment ready to destroy the vehicles. They're just under 200 meters away. That's one. You'll note with the vehicles it'll take them a little bit to completely explode. So there, the first one has exploded. The second will go shortly. Fingers crossed. Yep, there's the second one. The third one has been hit, but again has not yet fully exploded. and the vehicle's exploded and the task has completed. What I've done here to show you how that you can have the vehicles in different locations anywhere on the map, and that means anywhere, it doesn't matter where you put these trucks. I've moved them to separate locations. Here we have the first vehicle, which is T1 variable name, and the create task is destroy the vehicle, task 1 for all playable units. The state is assigned. That is synced to the trigger here, and as I've said before in other missions, the easiest way to guarantee that your players will activate a trigger is to put an ammo box into it. I guarantee you they will go to it. Then we have the second vehicle over here, T2, again a create task module to take out the truck for all playable units, state set to assigned, and the trigger to assign it there. Has in the condition trigger activated T1 down. Now you need to put that in there as per my other videos to string the tasks together. So this trigger, which ends this task, has a variable name of T1 down, and in the condition alive T1. So when T1 is destroyed, this trigger will fire with a variable name of T1 down, and to activate the next task, trigger activated T1 down. So that's the name of this trigger, which will activate the next task, and so on. So for this task, once the second vehicle is taken out, you'll note that the trigger to complete this task has a variable name of T2 down and alive T2. To fire the final task, or to assign it in this trigger, trigger activated T2 down. So again, when the trigger T2 down is completed or activated, this trigger synced to the set task correction, the create task, will fire, activating this task. For the final task to actually end the mission, that is T3, we have the task to destroy the vehicle, which is activated by this trigger here, in condition trigger activated T2 down, which is the name of the trigger that ends the second task. So once that fires, it will activate this one. And in this trigger here, to complete the task, we don't need to have a trigger activated. All we simply need to have is alive T3, which is the variable name of this vehicle. And instead of using a set task state, I've actually placed an end scenario, which you can find in Systems, Scenario Flow, End Scenario. And in the end scenario, you can double click that and you'll have mission completed type or failed, etc. I'm going to leave it to mission completed. And just for a slight delay on the completion of the mission, I'm going to set a task correction, a timer of 5 seconds. Let's test to see how all that works. Okay, we're at the starting point for our 3 tasks. A launcher box is there. Your players will go to it, which will put them into the trigger to activate the task. There we go. Open the inventory, grab the equipment you need to complete the mission. And we have the first task. It's 273 meters away, which is take out the enemy supply vehicle. So we'll head off and complete that one. Okay, so we're looking at the first vehicle we need to destroy, approximately 200 meters away. Now we have that first vehicle's been destroyed. Now the task for the second vehicle will fire after a short delay. There we go, take out truck 2. So here we are at the second truck, which is approximately 330, 340 meters. There we go, we've got a hit on that truck. And it should shortly explode, completing the task. Fingers crossed. There we go. Second task has been completed and the final task has been assigned, which is up there. Now remember, for this final task we've set this with a end scenario trigger. So when this vehicle is destroyed, it should completely end this scenario. Just waiting for it to explode. There we go. Vehicle has exploded. There is a 5-second delay on the end mission, and there we have it, mission completed. So thank you to SnapEye for the question. I hope that explains it for you in sufficient detail, but not too complicated for you to understand and use that in your missions. And as always, if you enjoy this content, to help me continue, like, subscribe, share, and consider buying me a coffee via Patreon, which is in the description of the video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.